ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ॐ श्रीहनुमते नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनं। ॐ श्रीचिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। ॐ श्री तुलसीदासाय नमः। Hari Om, a warm welcome. Yesterday we completed the 8th Doha. We will now proceed further. Please join me. Khala Parihasa, from there it begins. Khala Parihasa hoi hit mora काक कहहि कल कंठ कठोरा हंस ही बक दादुर चात कही हसहि मलिन खल बिमल बत कही कबि तरसी कन राम पद नेहु तिन कह सुखद हासरस एहु भाषा भनिति भोरी मति मोरी हसी बेजोग हंसे नहीं खोरी प्रभु पद प्रीति न सामुजिनी की, तिनहि कथा सुनि लागी ही फीकी। हरिहर पद रति मति न कुतर की, तिन कहूँ मधुर कथा रघुबर की। राम भगति भूषित जिय जानी, सुनिहि सुजन सराहि सुबानी। कबि न होऊँ नहीं बचन प्रबीनु, सकल कला सब विद्याहीनु। आखर अर्थ अलंकृति नाना, छंद प्रबंध अनेक विधाना। भाव भेद रस भेद अपारा, कबित दोष गुण विविध प्रकारा। कबित विवेक एक नहीं मोरे, सत्य कहूँ लिखि कागद कोरे। भनिति मोरी सब गुण रहित, विश्व विदित गुण एक। सो विचार सुनिहि सुमति, जिनके विमल विवेक। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय। At every stage, rather every chaupai, every doha, the humility of Tulsidas ji comes out with so much of love towards Bhagavan, innocence in the field, and letting go of all the other things in the world. Nothing bothers. This is very important for a bhakta. A bhakta should never worry about the external world when he is completely at the feet of Bhagavan. Think. Any bhakta of any devata, in very many cases, Guru himself is a Bhagavan. So a bhakta does not matter of the external world. His surrender to the altar is the truth, is the complete fact. He doesn't know anything other than that. And here in this section again we will find how beautifully Tulsidas ji expresses his inner heart. That inner urge to sing the glory of the Lord, that inner urge to present the love for Bhagavan. In fact, one may ask, why should he present the love for Bhagavan? Let him have the love. Let him communicate himself to Bhagavan. No. It is out of his irresistible nature to express the glory of Bhagavan so that others also may come into that field and gain the glory, gain the blessings of Bhagavan and reach Bhagavan. Think. He says, in the last chaupai we saw how people laugh at him, but he doesn't bother. He continues the topic a little more. He says, Khala parihasa. The evil-minded people, when they ridicule him, hoi hita mora, he says, it doesn't affect me. What does this tell us? It tells how the ego factor does not exist in this glorious bhakta of Bhagavan. The ego never comes into the picture. Rather, he has no ego at all. And for a bhakta, it is again very extremely important that his ego is completely put down. Hoi hitamora, he says, that ridiculing of the Kalajana, the wicked people, thoughtless people, is good for me only. Why? In fact, Many of us don't like criticism. Is it not? The moment we are criticized, we get very offended, and we start, throwing tantrums, and we scold that person, etc., etc. Isn't it? Sometimes we may probably give some blows also physically. Why? Why has he to tell me like this? How can he tell me like that? What business has he got to tell me like that? Etc. But look at Tulsi Dasi. He says, let them ridicule me. Because, see, criticism always is good for someone who wants to grow. Very important. Many of us don't like it. But criticism keeps us on the ground. Very important, please. In any field, for that matter, not only in the spiritual field, even in the outer world, criticism must be very beautifully addressed. Now see, when somebody is criticizing me, if I take that criticism in the right perspective, then I will scrutinize this criticism. I will analyze the criticism and check whether there is truth in that criticism. If there is a truth in it, quietly correct that flaw in me. Think. That is being very good. It's a very good nature. It's a very important virtue of a person who wants to grow. Take the criticism, scrutinize. If there is some truth in it, correct myself. If there is no truth in it, then ignore. Our Acharya used to give us one very interesting example. He says, if somebody calls you donkey, if I get offended and say, who is donkey? You are donkey. Your father is donkey. Your grandfather is donkey. Your parampara is donkey. That means I have accepted that I am a donkey. Think. I have a feeble doubt that I might be a donkey. Therefore, I get offended. He said, in case you have a doubt, turn behind and check whether you have a tail. If somebody calls me a donkey, I won't become a donkey, please. If somebody calls me a fool, because he called me a fool, I won't become a fool. If I am already a fool, that's a different matter. But when he calls me a fool, I won't become a fool. Think. Therefore, when somebody is throwing tantrums on us, somebody is throwing wrong words on us, accept it. If it is truth, ignore. In Kannada, there is a very beautiful statement. It says, ahankarakke udasinave maddu. For ego, ignoring is the best solution. Now look at that. Hoi hita mora. It is good for me. Why? It will keep me on the ground. I will not fly. Many people, if you pat them, if you say some 4 or 5 good words, they will do anything for you. Isn't it? There are a lot of these videos coming up in the YouTube and Facebook, etc., where the man praises his wife, and the wife feels very, very happy, and she does everything for him. But if the man tells something wrong, he had it. Think. This is one example which comes here, but that's all made up anyway. But in many houses it happens, please. It is a fact. Therefore, check your ego. Is what is a call here? It says, Kala parihasa hoi hita mora kaak kahahi. Very interesting example he gives. He says, kaak kahahi, the crows say, crow, the black crow say, Kalakantha kathora, this cuckoo bird, that voice is very shrill, very weak, something, it is not good. Who says? Crow. Crow tells kokila, cuckoo bird, that the throat is very bad. Think. Naturally. We always say that one very interesting example. The fox tells that fruit is very, very sour. It is not good. Why? Because a fox could not reach it. Think. Similarly, Kalakantha Kathora. And then he says, Hamsa hi baka. Hamsa means swan. The one which has the discriminative ability. There is one baka. Baka means one is crane. Another one is this, in the example, it also means this egret. A white color bird, or some of them are colorful also. Baka Pakshi talks ill of, ridicules swan bird. Swan. What a great quality swan has got. Think. And then he also gives one more. Frogs, Dadura. Chatakahi. There is one Chataka Pakshi. Chataka Pakshi is that which identifies even before the rain comes that it is going to rain now. It looks, it gazes at the clouds and identifies that the rain is going to come. The very high vision. Frogs ridicules these Chataka Pakshi, it seems. And then he says, Asahi malina khala bimara batakahi. These people, malina, bimala, khala. Khala, very wrong people, evil-minded. Meaning here what? Evil-minded meaning what? Thoughtless people who are highly egoistic. And they laugh, they ridicule. What? Batakahi. Good talks also they will ridicule. Those talks which brings lot of good knowledge, even that will be ridiculed. And then he says, Kabita rasikana Ramapadanihu. Those who have no taste or for poetry. For, very many of us, in the world there are loko bhinna ruchihi, it is said. Everybody have got varieties of tastes, isn't it? Those who are not very keen in poetry, those who have no taste for poetry, such people, Kabita Rasika, those people who have no taste for Kavita, na Ramapadanehu, na goes for both. Na Rasika, na Ramapada. Meaning, those who have no love for the feet of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandraji, who have no devotion towards Ramchandraji. Tinakaha sukhada hasa rasapaehu. For them, they will find my work as an amusement. So they might ridicule, they may laugh at it, but still it is okay. Why it is okay? At least it will not bring sorrow to them. It will only make them laugh. Let them be happy. So what? See how beautiful his heart is. That heart which has so much of love for Bhagavan, so much of devotion towards Bhagavan, so much of conviction and commitment towards Bhagavan. For that heart, nothing matters. And that heart can only see positivity in even the negativity. Look at that. Hitamora. No, tinakaha sukhada hasa rasa ehu. For them it is amusement, let them enjoy. So what? It doesn't matter. Bhasha bhaniti. The language which I have used is what? Dialect. It is not Deva Bhasha, Samskrita. It is a very, very... We also saw the story, how this Ramacharita was not allowed by the high-class people. Finally, when Santa Madhusudana Saraswati ji, when he put his Hastakshara as though, and said, this is the best, which is as equivalent to Veda. It gives everything in it. Karma, Dhyana, Bhakti, Yoga and Jnanam. Everything is found in Ramacharita. Therefore he says, there is no better Veda. It is as equivalent to all the Vedas. Therefore, this is permitted, this is allowed. Until he said, people ridiculed. And today, Ramacharita is one of the best grantha in all over, not only all over North India, we have seen this, all over the world it is being chanted. Bhasha Bhaniti, Bhori Matamori, he says, I have written in the dialect, but at the same time, I have written with a very small intellect. I am not that good. My intelligence is not that good. It doesn't have the great scholarly efficiencies. Mati Mori, Bhori Mati Mori. Hasime Joga. How beautiful it is. In fact, those people who are ridiculing, they will not incur any blame. Why? It is fit enough for that. It doesn't have all the perfection in it. It is very simple. With a little mind, with a limited intellect, I am writing this. Therefore, hase nahi khori, they need not be blamed. In case somebody is talking ill about it, they should not be blamed. Why? Probably it is worthy of that only. However, I will write. He says, Prabhupada Pritina Samujhiniki, those who have no love for the Lord, those who have no that heart for Bhagavan, heart or devotion for Bhagavan, Prabhupada Priti na Samujhiniki, they will never understand. Why? They cannot find a proper reason. They cannot find a proper reason to glorify this work because I have done it with my limited intellect. Tinahi katha suni lagi hi piki. This story, Tinahi katha, will sound very unattractive. It will not really make them attractive. It will not pull them. Why? Because their mind is elsewhere. It is very important. If our mind is with Bhagavan, then this will make sense. But if our mind is in the whims and fancies of the world, if our mind is filled with ego, then it will only look for recognitions, praise, gifts, etc., etc. And such people cannot understand, cannot appreciate such simple work. Peaky, they will just keep it away. They will laugh at it. But then he says, Harihara pada rati mati nakutaraki. Nakutaraki, those who don't have such mind, such an argumentative mind. Kutaraki, Harihara pada rati, the one who loves, who revels in the glory of Harihara, Mahavishnu and Bhagavan Shivaji. Harihara Padarati Mati Kutaraki, whose Mati has no Kutarka, whose Mati is not perverse. Tina Kahu Madhura Kathara Gubaraki. For to them, Tina Kahu, I will now tell. What do I tell? Madhura Katha Raghubaraki. I will tell them, I will give them the wonderful, sweet story of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandraji, the greatest king of the Raghus. And then he says, Rama Bhagati Bhushita Jiyanjani. The one who knows this heart, the one who knows the love for Bhagavan, Bhushita Jiyanjani, the one who have love and devotion. Suni hahi sujana, such good people sujana, suni hahi, those virtuous people will listen to me and they will praise. Sarahi subani, they will praise these little words, what I say about Bhagavan Shri Ramchandraji. And then he says, Kabina ho, I am not a very good poet. See, many of us, even little thing we do, immediately we want praises. from everywhere. Therefore, immediately we want to take a photo, put it in the Facebook, put it in, if it is a video, put it in YouTube, and then we go on checking how many likes have come, how many people have seen, how many people, my own people, have not seen. Then send them one message or call them. Did you see the Facebook? I had posted this one. Why? What is that? Compliments, seeking compliments. Ego. That is why initially he said, what do? I do it for my own sake. Svantas sukhaya tulasi raghunatha gata, he had told. Similarly, he says, Kabi na ho, I am not a big kavi. Nahi bachana prabino, I am not a skill, I don't have that skill of speech. I cannot articulate as such. I am not that competent. Bachana prabino, sakala kala sabha vidyahino. I don't even have the knowledge of all the arts and sciences of speech. Look at this. Who says? Tulsi Dasi says. What a beautiful grantha he has given to the world. And he says, I am not at all good. I don't have sakala kala sabha vidya hino. I am no good. Sakala kala means what? The art has got 64 types of arts, they say. And sabha vidya here means vidya. 14 types of vidyas are there. 4 Vedas, 4 Upavedas, and 6 Vedangas. So many are there. Like that, so much of Kala is there, Vidya is there, but I am not into all that. I don't know anything. Sab Vidya Hino. Akhara Aratha Alankrita Nana. What a beautiful. Akhara means Akshara. Aratha meaning of the Akshara. When it comes together, it becomes word, and then Aratha. Alankrita. I don't have all the efficiency of this Alankara in Kavita. All these I don't have. There are elegant people who have beautiful way of presenting good things. Presenting even a small thing in a very beautiful way. And then Alankriti. Alankriti means those beautification. You have similes, you have anecdotes, you have metaphors. All these are there in the Sahitya. All these things I don't have. All these things I don't know. Like for example, here in Tulsi Ramayana, first line and the second line, the last letter will be the same. Alankara. All this knowledge I don't have. All this Vidya I don't have. Chanda Prabandha Aneka Vidana. There are so many varieties in Chandas, meter. Shardula Vikridita. And then you have Anushtup Chandas, Trishtup Chandas, Prabandha, compositions with beauty in it. Aneka Vidhana, varieties are there. Bhava Bheda Rasa Bheda Apara. Bhava Bheda, so many varieties of bhava are there. Sthayi bhava, for example, is a bhava which is permanent. Like for example, a mother having a love towards her child. Even the child grows older. Mother is 80 years old. The child, at that time child, now that girl would have grown, would have got married. She might also have grandchildren. Somewhere in 60s. Even then, Sthayi Bhava means what? Bhava which is permanent towards their children. And then you have Anubhava, Vibhava, etc. etc. There are so many. I am not going to go into the detail of all that. And then you have Rasa Bheda. Rasa Bheda means Navarasa we had. Shringara Rasa, Hasya Rasa, Bhayanaka Rasa, etc. etc. we saw. Navarasa Bheda Apara. Plenty of such differences are there. Kabita Dosha Guna Bibhida Prakara. Kabita Dosha. this Kavita which I have written on Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra Ji has got dosha, guna, vividha prakara. It has got both critical aspects as well as virtuous aspects in it. Varieties, both are there. We are going to see, all through we are going to see this. Kabita Viveka Eka Nahi Mori. Finally he says, of all these limitations with which I have done, of these, one Eka, Eka Viveka Nahi More, critical knowledge of one, which I have, I vouch for it, Satya Kahamo, I will promise. And then he says, as we talk in our colloquial world, Likhika Agada Kore, I will write it in a white paper and give it to you. What? There is one merit in that. In whatever I write. Bhaniti mori sab gunarahita. My composition may not have charm in it. He says, but it is so beautiful. May not have charm, may not have quality, may not have any merits in it. Bhaniti mori sab gunarahita. But then he says, Visvabhidita guna eka. There is one merit which the whole world will know. The whole world will understand. So bichara sunihahi sumati. Those sumati, those good people, so bichara, they will think about it and they will listen to what I have written. They will listen. Why? They understand the truth behind. Jinake Bimala Viveka, who has got Nirmala Viveka, Nirmala Manaha, Nirmala Hridaya. Those people will understand that part, that merit in it, and they will listen to it. And they will use their right perspective, use their right judgment and appreciate the work. May not be expressively, but quietly they will appreciate the work. And it is for that I am writing this Ramacharita-manas. Humility can be spoken a lot. To live humility, we need blessings of Bhagavan. Seeking his blessings, we will sign off for today and meet tomorrow. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.